This is Kevin with Big Papa Unlimited, where we talk about guns and things like that. I just want to come on here tonight um, because let me just start off like this. I am definitely a Glock fanboy. I have been a Glock fanboy for years. I have quite a collection of Glocks, not as much as some, but more than others. Um, Currently, I have about 15 to 16 Glocks. And you probably say, well, why you have so many Glocks? I just told you, I'm a Glock fanboy. And I'm proud to say that. Some people shy away from being a Glock fanboy, but Glock, Glocks are real good. They're reliable from my perspective, and that's why I have so many of them. Now I have other guns too, but primarily I'm a Glock guy. Um, and I think what happened, in the recent couple of videos, people have come out and said that the new Glocks talk about the new Glock 6, um, Gen 6, and I was interested. And I said, let me hop on here right quick and talk to my fans. If you want to be a fan, I put out video periodically. I'm not a big channel. Um, Hit like and subscribe, so you'll be notified when more videos come out. I said they get a chance to say this. Yes, I have quite a collection of Glocks, like I said. And I love them. YouTube, these guns are not loaded. Okay, let me make that perfectly clear. Um, and I have them in different rotations. They have different. Um, they have a different way of being in my gun rotation, depending upon what I'm wearing that day, whether it's hot, cold, whatever the weather may be. If I want to just grab something real quick, run to the store gym, I grab the 42. Okay. I also have the 43X. So I got little Glocks and I have big Glocks. And this right here is the police trade in. Um, and this is a Glock 35. I tell people, man, don't slip on police trade in Glocks, because in my experience, I've never had a bad one. I get those from Sportsman Guide and different ones. They have them, and don't slip on them because you can get a good gun for a pretty good price. Now I don't know about now, because in this climate that we have, everybody's trying to get rich on these guns, and I know um, the Gen 6 coming out, but them coming out and them discontinuing generations two, threes, and fours and fives is crazy. Um, but everybody, the big YouTubers, got a chance to go to down to the where they make the Glocks here in Georgia. I am, I do stay here in Georgia, love Georgia. Um, but a lot of influencers got a chance to go down and check out the new Glocks and things like that. And they look pretty good, pretty interesting. But the thing about it is, as much as I love Glock, I don't feel sometimes they love us back. You probably say, well, why you say that? You got all them Glocks. I don't, because they made over the over the bunch of past years, and believe me, God perfection is one of those things that they stand on. That's why they do us like they do us. What I simply mean by that is, they release all these Glocks not being MOS. Now, back in the days, in the Gen 2s and 3s, optics weren't that big a deal. But in recent years, it's been coming along. I don't see why they wouldn't at least release the MOS version on their other guns past the four. But what they like to do is just put out regular Glocks without being MOS. And let's face it, the MOS system is trash. Okay. And had to get big plates to put on top of your gun, and it's just trash. I mean, they if you want to get your plate, get you a CNH Precision plate or something like that. That would definitely, but they're not paying me to say that. There's other brands out there that you can use, that you can mount an optic on the MOS version. Now, the new Gen 6s, I love the way they are a direct mount. Seem like they're gonna have a little shim plate that you put up under there that's made out of I don't want to say plastic, made out of uh, almost like O-ring that you put on there, but it's still a direct mount where you don't have to buy those plates and have it to build up your optic. Um, I call my 49 here. I have the Light red dot on top. I got suppressor sights. Um, and tell you about that too. When you get a gun, if you're not gonna put a suppressor on there, you really don't need the suppressor height sights. you primarily need the optic height sights, which are a little bit shorter, but they'll work. I have some guns I cut my teeth on optics. I mean on sights, boy. I buy the gun and buy the sights before I even get the gun in, and I put them on there like this, for instance. This is a Glock 48. Okay, it's empty. I'm not gonna shoot anybody on YouTube. As you can see, uh, the sights are a little bit tall in the window. Okay, but I mean, as long as you train with it, I can train around that. Which brings me to the point: you got to shoot your guns. Excuse me, you got to shoot these guns. I am a collector, but I do like to shoot. But you got to take them out and shoot them so you can get yourself familiar with the how they work. Um, Going back to the sixes, I don't know if I'm gonna buy one because I think they messed us up. Here in November, back in November, we in December now, they released the V series, and everybody ran out. I'm gonna get the V series, the V series. Well, that was cool when you guys knew that you were gonna release the Gen 6 as soon as you did. I'm thinking maybe mid 2026, but bam, I get notification from a couple of my guys that work at the local shop there and said no, in about 44 days, they're going to come out with the Gen 6s. And even with that, I think they're just going to release the 17, the 45, and the 19, which 19 is iconic, and the 17. I was kind of blown back when they said at first they get rid of all the 17s. Man, y'all got rid of the flagship. And then they come out with the 47, which is a little bit different. I have a 47 here on the table. Um, did I bring it out? I mean, I bought it. Okay. Yeah. Oh, here it is there. This is the 47. Okay. Um, this one is optics ready with the MOS plate system. It took the place of the 17, and then all of a sudden they come out and say, "Look, we're gonna do away with the 47. We're gonna bring back the 17, which is gonna pay homage to the Glock 47. So you're gonna get like the best of both worlds. Say the texture on the new Glocks is gonna be better. You don't have to put grip tape. I don't put none of this stuff on my guns. You know, I think if and you can teach his own. They're not sleek like the Gen uh 3 Glocks, with a slippery grip. They're not like that. But anyway, I said to myself, I said now, and I talked to another brother of mine, he's a Glock guy, and he was like, man, um, the Gen 6s, he was waiting on those, and then when they come out, they made some good changes on them. It's pretty good changes. The grip. They talk about a gas pedal, which I don't think is really a gas pedal. I just think they kind of bold this section out here a lot and call it gas pedal. Everybody else call it gas pedal, where they put their thumbs on. But I've seen some YouTubers, they put their thumb up there and it slips off. So they try to hocus pocus on us with that. But like I said, Glock is good company. Don't get me wrong. But I just think that being a consumer, they don't really look out for you. They released the non optics ready, and then all of a sudden, they 6 months later they released the same gun that's optics ready. But by that time, if you're like me, the fanboy, you go out and you buy a Glock, and they think it's not optics ready. And I think that's in 2025, every gun manufactured out there should come out with optics ready pistols. Now, that's not saying that everybody like optics. I have an army buddy of mine, and he does not like optics. And I said, man, if you train with him, you'll get good with him. But he's an iron sight guy, so I don't clown on him about that. That's good because I shoot some of these don't have optics on them. I think I got about 4 or 5 guns with Glocks with optics. That's because they came optics ready, for you to put optics on there. But yeah, I just want to get on here and hop on and give my 2 cents about it. Um, buying Glocks and other guns. I just love the two-way community. I love how fast it's growing. We have some people that hate us having the right to bear arms. And I think that's a load of crock. They stand behind school shootings and say, "Oh, everybody didn't need a gun until you really need one." I pray to God that I'm never ever in a situation where I have to pull my gun to defend myself, but I will do that. My family and myself. I'm not a hero, but I will defend my family and myself. Um, and you can do that with Glocks because they stand up through the test of time. I look at a lot of different YouTubers. I like to look at Spin Firearms. He is truth. That brother has a bunch of guns. He loves Glocks too, but he tells you the truth about every gun he has. He's not bought by big companies where some YouTubers get optics sent out to them or guns sent out to them. Which I'm not knocking that if you even do that. And one thing he's big on is if you're gonna push a product, you better darn well be using it. I know some guys said, well, I got this and this Glock and I use that. And then one other YouTuber got on there and he asked the guy, hello, right now, what are you carrying? And most people are carrying like the Glock 48, um, or they'll take a Shield or the Hellcat, which are all good guns, but it's like sometimes it's like, okay, are they really carrying it? And you have to make sure that you're carrying whatever it is that you're putting out here. Which all those guys are good guys and girls because I love to see us out there. Um, but as I was saying, I just don't think that I think they love us and listen to us, but it's a company, it's a business. So if they can push as many products out as they can, they'll do it. Which I'm not mad at them because, like I said, I love Glocks. But I just think that the little changes that they do, some of them are really good, and some of them are like a little bit of changes. Like someone said, Glock putting front serrations on a gun is like rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic, which I thought was funny, but not the loss of life and all those people lost their life on the Titanic, but it just goes to show you how the little changes they made would make a difference, unless it's something drastic. I don't have a Gen 6. I haven't put one in my hand. Like I said, it's like 44, 43 days before they release. Um, I'm just going on with those YouTubers that went down here in Georgia and shot the new Gen 6, and they seem to be pretty good. With the texture and the undercut, knuckle cut. Also, they made it where the palm swell is a little bit different. I heard that they hate everybody at Glock. They got a hand size grip of everybody to see what's common, grip size for people, and that's what they did on the new model. So I'm excited to see those. I don't know if I'll buy one because, like I said, I just love them, and if I can get a V or Gen 3 or 4, I'm gonna do that because I just like the gun. I don't have to have the newest, latest, greatest. So one thing about me, I really don't have to have the new thing that's coming out because it's just like buying a car. Let somebody else drive the miles. I mean, drive the a little bit of the durability out of it or whatever to drive that money down. The bottom line price. But yeah, well, just stay tuned to the channel, and I'm gonna do the best I can to bring y'all more content. I know it's small. I've been hitting and missing, but I'm trying to get this thing up and running. And we'll talk about a lot of different other things. I have carry rotations. I think in some cases you need to take you a single stack gun, like church carry. You know, I sometimes I carry my Walther uh, PPS M2 or my Ruger Max 9. I have that. It looks good. I have my suit on. I have it tucked inside the waistband. I'm always for inside the waistband. Now, you guys to carry outside the waistband, that's cool. I like inside the waistband. That's my preference because I don't want anybody to know, the bad guys to know I got a gun on me until it's too late. Okay, if I'm to be correct about that. But anyway, love what you get what you love. This is Big Papa Unlimited. I'm out.